So, this is my NXT review, and this was a special episode from Houston, Texas. And I would say this was a PLE level show. The only thing that I have a problem with is what do you do with the NXT Women's Championship? JC Jane has won all her matches the same way that she has for the past year or so. Always because the other person did something to their partner. The triple threat match was very good between JC, Sol Ruka, and Zarya. It's just that who is left for JC to face? She has ran through the whole NXT women's division. This has to end as standing level. Apart from Kendall Gray, I can't see anyone because you just had her relinquish her Evolve Championship so that she can officially move to the NXT roster, even though she appears on like every episode for the past few months. So it feels like that is the direction because also now Ren Sinclair is the speed champion, and after she lost the match, it kind of looked like there is fissures between, Fatal Influence, and rightfully so. Even though I don't like how Sean has booked Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley was supposed to be what JC Jane is right now. She was the main girl for Fatal Influence. But Stephanie Walker was called up quick. They gave JC a hair damn title run, like title win, and like threw her into the lake with the sharks so that we are giving you this. Let's see if you can run with it because you have been a super senior here for too many years and people say you have not been given many chances. And she has done well. It's just that I still think Fallon Henley as a whole package is still way better than JC Jane. But that doesn't mean JC doesn't have a place as a single star. I just hope now that you are having all this, maybe this leads to the breakup of Fatal Influence at Standard 11. Kendall Gray wins, maybe we get a feud between them, and then they can decide which one of them goes to the main roster and which one of them sticks around in NXT. Hope that happens. Even the Speed Championship match was very good, even though I do think they're probably going to get rid of the tournament like stipulation because every time they need to have like a contender for the Speed Championship, they need to have like a mini tournament. And now that they are having wrestlers reference that and saying that it's dumb, they're probably gonna, remove that stipulation. Like Ren deserved to win the championship. It's just that it came at the cost of Fallon Henley's first defense in like more than 100 days. So it kind of feels like it was a waste. But I think they'll have a clearer direction with Ren as the champion. I can probably see a multi-woman match happening at Standard 11, maybe involving Lainey Reed, maybe involve some of the other women like Jada Parker and all who have nothing to do there for the speed championship. I can see at Standard 11. Apart from them, also William Regal talking to Robert Stone, saying that he'll talk to Sean to have him be instated as a full-time general manager, which I think I'm so happy for Robbie that he's gotten this position. Like he is the main authority figure of NXT, and he looks way better in this role than Ava. Even though Ava, even despite she was bad in her acting and all, brought a unique taste. Robert has slid in very well in this role. Like he announced that there will be like a gauntlet eliminator match next week for the number one contendership for Miles Bond at Standard level for the NXT North American Championship. You had the NXT Tag Team Championship number one contenders tournament in which the Righteous or what was it? Their name? The Birthright defeated Hank and Tang, so they are moving ahead. Even Ren asked Charlie, "Why did you join them?" And Charlie was like, "You joined up with Kendall because you find her familiar, and I found them familiar, so I joined them." Apart from that, you also had backstage segments between Thea, Tatum saying Thea like, "We need more people like you." Thea kind of losing herself. Jada was involved there also. So yeah, they're doing stuff, but you had Kalani confront Thea Hale, so that's probably the next direction for Kalani on TV. And you also had the NXT North American Women's Championship being defended in a steel cage match with Tatum and Izzy, which was a great match, especially that suplex from the top. In the end, Tatum won, and this this feud is over. Even this was a good feud, but this feud had too many matches. What was that? This was like their third or fourth match in like 1 or 2 months. So it was a lot of matches in between such a short time, but it was good. Though it was a very funny thing that Tatum was celebrating, and then Blake Monroe came out of nowhere from under the stage, dragged her inside, grabbed the title, did some sexy stuff with it, and then also like plopped down the hole. So I'm like, oh, in kayfabe, like, is she still beating her up there? Like, how did both of them get out of there? And then also, Sean Legacy announced that he has a injury, which very sad. So that Elio Lefleur is stepping up to be Eli Knight's tag team partner next week, which is good. Another good segment that they had was Booker T Appreciation Night, where a very good video package for Booker T, especially having a goon section where he's gooning for women in NXT, a part of the video package. You also had Vic Joseph there taking digs at Welser and all for the worst, commentator and everything. But then you had Keanu Carver show. Keanu has a very fun gimmick. This guy's gimmick is that I won't go back to the streets, I don't take anyone's shit. But what we have seen actually is this guy involves himself in everything. Nobody says anything to him. He just assumes shit is happening and he's like, shut up to the crowd. Then he's like, he was going to attack Booker T. You're not going to go back to the streets, you're going to jail, buddy. And then Jasper Troy out of nowhere shows up and he attacks Keanu Carver. Now Jasper like turning face, which I think is a like good direction for him because Jasper has kind of lost a lot of his luster still till since he had that Oba feud because of his slowness and all. Maybe this is a good direction to see two big meatheads going up against each other, and this was his hometown as well. Even Ren won in our hometown, kicking it with Ross. Shout out to you guys, you were there too. So yeah, this was good. And then when the wrestlers came out to congratulate him, you had like a Roxanne video also there. He was like, "Shut the hell up! Stop this and everything." That was a funny part as well. That Joe Henry, Ethan Page, Ricky Sane segment was also very good. It's like both of them attacking Joe Henry, and both of them has such good chemistry. It was kind of like that segment where you remember when Kevin and Chris Jericho had that show with Roman Reigns, they were like, whose fault is that we lost? Roman Reigns. And that was really fun. It was like that. Then they attacked him. Then Tony D'Angelo shows up and he beats everyone's ass in the ring. And I'm glad this will probably be a fatal four-way for the NXT Championship as Standard 11. This is a great match for Standard 11. Like a great main event match for Standard 11. I'm pretty excited about this. The main event scene looks good on NXT. It's just that if it is fatal four-way, you can get away with, having Ricky win the championship, having Tony D win the championship, having even Joe Henry retain his championship. I don't think Ethan Page will win the championship. I think I can probably see Ricky winning the championship. A fatal four kind of feels like the most perfect way to have that sniveling bastard win the championship again, and then have Tony D'Angelo chase Ricky Saints for the championship, which kind of feels like the much better dynamic rather than having like a vigilante tweener in Tony D'Angelo chasing a straight face, him chasing a sniveling heel, like a shared shit faced heel, is a much better. So I think much of it will also depend on who the main roster sees as call ups going after WrestleMania. So yeah, that all happened as well. So yeah, I'm kind of like this was a very good episode of NXT, like PLE level. I'm excited for what happens next week and what happens as Standard Deliver. I think NXT is in its groove now. It's just that even the Vanity Project, uh, Los Americanos, El Grande Americano six-man tag was good. It's just that okay, they won. Are they going to be involved in this tag team tournament? Because from what I heard, I don't think they're involved. But now that they have defeated the vanity projects, do they get involved here? And I think this is an interesting case that the Americanos are a face in AAA and NXT, but they are heels on Raw, and they're those heels on Raw. Those are like jobbers, like they don't get any reactions there. And I think NXT and AAA have shown that you can book them well and actually have them be important parts of the show, and like be useful. Like even if they want to use the Americanos as heels on Raw, like they need to use them more other than being just jobbers. And NXT has shown that they can be used more than that jobbers. You can have a fun segment because it feels like the Americanos are going to have a match at WrestleMania with the original one. So wouldn't it be nice to give them some momentum and have them actually matter? So yeah, that was my review of NXT. What do you think about the show? What do you think about my comments? Tell me in the description if you like this type of content, like this video, share and subscribe. If you don't, then share with those who do. My social media accounts, which are my Twitter /X account and my Instagram account, links are in the description. So go follow me on that. My UPI ID link, which is shareboy@okicici, is also in the description. So go donate any amount of money which can help you make YouTube a permanent career option. So that was it for me for today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.